first of them is the EOS 60D. This is our new mid-range digital SLR camera that has a price point of approximately $10.99 for the body only, or $13.99 with the standard zoom lens, the way you see it here with the 18 to 135 image stabilizer zoom lens. Now, the EOS 60D is really a good step forward for the industry because it helps deliver some new features that have not been found in too many SLR cameras so far. It's an 18 megapixel camera at 5 frames per second, so that's the basic for still capture, but it also has got full HD at 1920 by 1080, selectable frame rates, 24, 25, or 30 frames per second. It also has a variable angle finder, as you can see here. It's a 3-inch finder that essentially gives us the capability of getting live view, and we can actually see, right on screen what it is that we're shooting. Now, of course, that's very, very valuable for video, but it's also a great feature for still photography as well, because you see precisely what the camera's going to see, with the effectively with the mirror up, so there's no vibration. So that's a great feature to have. For still photography, it has in-camera raw processing. So without even getting involved with hooking the camera up to a computer, if you shoot your raw capture to get the best possible image quality, you can then go into the camera and actually adjust the image in terms of exposure compensation, white balance, color space, you name it, many, many different attributes of the image quality, and actually convert that raw file into a JPEG that you can then use on your website or print up, or however you want to use that image. It's right there for you. Yeah, we've got a couple of things here that we should talk about in terms of the control layout. And on the back of the camera, one of them in particular is the fact that the joystick has been changed. It's now inset inside the quick control dial. So you still have the quick control dial, but you also have effectively a jog dial built into it. And that makes it a lot easier to be able to make your adjustments. Because you think about how people are actually using these cameras, they're holding it horizontally most of the time, but when they turn it vertically, with this arrangement, they still have total access to that jog dial. So the older way with the multi-controller up on top, when they went vertical, it was harder to reach that. Now they don't have to worry about it. Another thing that changed is on the actual command dial up here. It's now a locking dial, and that means that even if you're carrying the camera around on your shoulder with the neck strap, you won't be accidentally turning the dial to a different exposure mode, because it only moves when you tell it to move by pressing the unlock key right here and then turning the dial. So some nice new improvements on that. One of the other features that is very, very useful here is a manual audio gain control. And that's giving us the ability now to be able to set the audio levels exactly where they should be according to the type of microphone that we're using. And the camera does have a built-in microphone, but it also has a full set of ports, including an external stereo microphone port and an HDMI for the video out. So a very versatile camera with a very, very high degree of image quality that matches up perfectly to what we have in the EOS 7D, but in a camera that costs roughly $600 less. So the EOS 60D is now available on the market, either as the body only or the standard lens kit for $13.99. This is a 10 megapixel camera with a 28 to 105 f2 lens. So that's really quite a fast lens. This is also a camera that has full manual exposure control plus raw file capability. And new in the S95 model for the first time in this form factor is the 720p HD movie capability. So you really have got a very full function camera, a nice 3-inch 460,000 dot LCD on the back, which is a very, very high quality view. And I've got to tell you, the size of this camera is absolutely perfect for carrying around in any kind of a shirt pocket or jacket pocket. I carry this with me just about wherever I go, and being able to shoot a high quality image with this camera is just an absolute pleasure. Now, the high sensitivity system that we use is a combination of a special 10 megapixel sensor with our Digic 4 processor And the result of the quality on this is just incredibly good in low light without flash. All right, I want to talk a little bit about the LCD screen on the PowerShot S95. It's a 3-inch screen. We call it the LCD Clearview 2. This is 461,000 dots, which is very high resolution, and as you can see, very bright and colorful, but very accurate color. So that's one of the things that makes this camera such a joy to use, is that we're getting a great image out of it. And as you can see here, even when I blow it up, the image quality that we're getting is just phenomenally good. So it shows you not only the quality of the color reproduction, it also shows you the sharpness of the lens. This 28 to 105 f2 lens that's on this camera is just nothing short of astonishing in terms of its clarity and brilliance. So I can highly recommend this as a great camera to carry around for your standard family snapshots and just about any other kind of use that you'd have for a compact digital camera. Well, the big change on the S95 over the S90 was the addition of the 720p video. We had just standard VGA video on the S90. They also put in a feature on this camera where the high dynamic range imaging is available. And that's a feature where if you set the camera up on a stable surface or a tripod, it'll take a series of exposures and then electronically blend them into a one high definition or high dynamic range output. So it's a nice feature to have in this price range.